That's right. Hello and welcome to this shameless ripoff of Tim and Guy
No, there's a little bit of shame. There's a little bit of shame.
To this slight amount of shame ripoff of Tim Bat and Guy Montgomery's The Worst Idea of All Time. If you're unfamiliar with that show, it's a podcast by some two lovely New Zealanders where they watch the same bad movie once a week, every week for a year. They've done several seasons. They're very funny. I would like to think, are somewhat funny. A little, like
some fraction of it, yeah.
I think there's a little bit of funny that we contain in our bodies. We are going to do our own season, probably, maybe, of Worst Idea. We're gonna workshop the name still.
Only 51 more times.
Only 51. Only 51 more. Oh man. we have elected to watch Donkey Kong the movie. This is Donkey Kong Country: The Legend of the Crystal Coconut, which is a collection. Excuse me, I'm coughing a lot. Jesus. I'm gonna.
You can cut this out.
I'll just edit it. Yeah, just cut the whole thing.
Cut the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing is just gone. This is a collection of episodes of the Donkey Kong Country cartoon from what year is it?
Generous.
Yeah, 3D animated Fever Dream, I think is the correct.
I would agree. Yeah, Fever Dream is accurate.
Is accurate. Animated television show from the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm gonna look up when it aired. That was from 1996 and it ran for 2 seasons. Can't imagine why. I cannot imagine why it only got 2 seasons, but so this is a collection of episodes that have been loosely strung together with some narration between them to justify being an hour and a half long. It's like 4 episodes. Yeah, it's 4 episodes. And I'm very nostalgic for it because I had this VHS as a young lad and I watched it many times.
I, on the other hand, have never seen this before. You tried showing me the first part of it a while ago and I watched some of it, but this is my full first experience with the
what did you
Donkey
think?
Kong movie.
What did you think? Did you like this movie?
I think if I watched it after playing the original Donkey Kong Country game and they were like there's a movie and I watch it, I would be fine. If I was a kid, as an adult I am like, it makes sense that this was like a fairly lazily produced show, with reoccurring models and the most abhorrent movement that gives me motion sickness.
It is
ever.
the movement is very horrible. The animation is very much like we're going to make them move around all the time while they are talking because that's just what it is. That's how you make kids.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
It reminds me of like YouTube people doing like TF2 making animations like that. Just the extremes of the facial movements are all there.
Yeah, I actually did make a note. One of my first notes, beginning with the first episode, which I would call, I don't know if it's the pilot episode, but I would say like introductions is that first segment, right? My note was that them trying to match the lip flaps is psychotic. Because
we haven't talked about it. It was originally in French, correct?
Yeah, it was a French cartoon.
Yeah. That
they dubbed over.
So truly hopeless to actually get the lip movement.
Oh yeah, no, completely. There was no way that was gonna. So are we gonna do we want to go episode by episode? Do we want to summarize the plot?
First, let's talk about the watching experience.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So
it's
May. it is 71 degrees outside. I don't have work today. And what I chose to do with my time around noon, like, the peak of good
Perfect.
weather of the day, was sit inside at my desk and watch a bad movie on my monitor through Discord, YouTube watch together activities. And that's where my life is right now.
That's, I mean, you just graduated college. You're a very
That is
successful
true.
man.
Yeah, I could have been like applying to jobs. I could have like gone for a run and like improved my health. But what I chose to
You
do
could have
with
been
my
doing
time,
anything good with your time at all.
yeah,
Really,
I
is
could have been
what.
like volunteering at a homeless shelter. I could have, done all these things. But
This is.
nevertheless, we are here.
If we are, we did spend our time watching Donkey Kong the movie. Uh,
How about
but
your watching experience? What were you sort of up to mentally during the preparations and
well,
beginnings of
well, I
this?
mean, I've been awake since like 11:30, so I haven't been up long.
I was up since 10:30, and the hour difference makes that about the same time.
That's true. Yeah, that is accurate. I went and did some. I actually did go out and enjoy the weather. If
Oh,
a tiny amount, I went and did some shopping for my grandmother. And I came back, and I was really excited, for this to show you this, because I don't know if it was a big part or formative part of my childhood, but it was definitely like a part that existed.
Mm-hmm. Some
It was
extant piece, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I did watch this video many times, like many, like anytime I was at my
This
granny's
movie, you mean,
house,
right? Not this video.
this film, this cinematic
This film.
masterpiece. Yeah.
This tour de force.
I never watched the actual the show itself. I never was able to view that. I only had the VHS that was the Donkey Kong Country: The Legend of the Crystal Coconut, which is these. And it anytime I was at my granny's house, not this grandma I just shopped for, but my other granny, I would not every time, but a lot of times I would watch it, and it was just very
I have a nearly identical memory with the VHS copy of Chicken Run.
oh, a Chicken Run. I see.
Yes, my
that's
grandma had a VHS player, and we would always watch Chicken Run. Arguably,
I would
a
say
much
that's a
better
much
movie.
better. I would say you had a much better childhood experience because you watched a much better movie. Can you know me a decent amount? I would say at this point.
Yeah.
Would you say that you consider this formative to me as a person based on my personality?
Ooh, I think a little too formative.
a little too much, huh?
Yeah, I think you watched this a few too many times. You could have watched a little bit more PBS, maybe a few more documentaries, a little less Donkey Kong Legend of the Crystal Coconut.
Yeah, true. That is accurate. Yeah, probably. Okay, so I think I would consider that a fun watch. That was a good watch, though.
Yeah. Overall, fun experience. I think it was funny because we were watching it together.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
yeah.
I was alone, I would not have watched it.
well,
I was gonna say I wouldn't have watched it. I would have stopped.
you may, you definitely will have to.
Don't.
In the coming 51 weeks, there will be times when we have to watch on our own time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think let's cover the plot of this overarching narrative, and I guess of the individual segments. So the first one opens with Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. They're at Cranky's house, and there's the Crystal Coconut, which is this mythical. What is it? And I mean, this is like the plot of the episode hinges on that DK doesn't know what all the coconut can do. Apparently, he has healing powers, right? We saw that.
Yeah. Well, it like more like pain relief because it doesn't like heal an injury. He's like, hey, my pain went away.
My pain is gone.
The Crystal Coconut took my pain away. Yeah, he doesn't say it healed my finger. It took the pain away.
That's true. It just took the pain away. So it has pain. So it's like an ibuprofen. It's not like
it's an ibuprofen so far.
It's like a magic.
Also,
ibuprofen.
so that is a good question that we could talk about. What does the Crystal Coconut actually do?
I've seen it do two. We've seen two things that it can do, right?
Things,
yeah. There's the pain relief, and
ghost.
Astral projection, I think, is what I would call it.
Well, because he does teleport with it too. So
Well, I
Cranky
think
Kong in the first episode uses it to project himself as a ghost to Donkey Kong.
yeah, right. To
And
tell
then
him
later
that the
he
pirates
also
are coming
uses it.
back for it.
He also uses it to straight up teleport. Right.
Well, no, that's the thing. He doesn't teleport with it. He like astral projects. No, he astral projects with it as to appear as a ghost to Donkey Kong while but his like return point is just wherever the coconut is. Like whenever he actually
uses it to teleport.
No, it's both times when he astral projects, the coconut starts in one location, and when he returns from the astral projection, the coconut is in a different location.
Oh, and he just
so when he returns, yeah, he appears where it is, right? So I think he like goes into like a pocket realm. He goes into the coconut, and then he's like
not quite astral projection because he disappears from the real world.
Yeah, I think he like goes into the coconut realm, which is what we will call it now and forever. Is the coconut realm? Yeah. Yeah. See, like he gives it to him, and then he
flashes
goes,
away.
And then Diddy go here. Let's see, like Diddy. It's like right here.
No,
it's in like 1940. It's like 1940.
Yes, there we go.
Yes, he's actually projecting there, and then go to 1940, like 1930. Because I can't skip for some reason. See, he reappears there in the Temple of Inkadinkadu, which is an insane sentence because we haven't covered any of the plot yet.
Yes. Okay, so he does just return. Okay, because he's surprised, right?
He's surprised, he's like, we're not in my cabin!
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So those are the two things that we've seen it do, but despite that fairly limited power, these villains are after it. We see the first one is
Captain Scurvy shows up first, I thought, doesn't he?
No,
it's King Karul. Yeah, they give it to Clump and Crush it. Okay, so importantly, we're skipping over a little bit. It's important. Yeah, so despite the Crystal Coconut seemingly only having 2 powers, and those being things you could accomplish with
the phones we see later.
Those things can be accomplished with an ibuprofen and a cell phone. The latter of which,
I'm changing my desk to standing. I got to get this energy up.
The latter of which we do see in the film. They do have long range communication in the banana. Yeah, we'll get there. The villains are after it because it's seemingly unlimited power, but the whole plot of this first episode hinges on that we don't know what it does, and DK wants to find out. But we also get a quick backstory of the series. Donkey Kong, so Scurvy, the pirate's great grandpappy, stashed the Crystal Coconut in the Eye of Inkadinkadu here on Congo Bongo Island. Then
there's such a nonsense sentence.
Yeah, yes. Inkadinkadu being a stone totem god? Like godlike figure, yeah.
But he has mysterious powers.
And he seems to kind of
head.
He seems to kind of be the great arbiter of the coconut. So DK found the crystal coconut in the Eye of Inkadinkadu, and Inkadinkadu deemed him the future ruler, not the ruler currently, the future ruler of Congo Bongo Island. Yeah, which is really.
Is Cranky the current ruler then?
I think there's currently a power vacuum, and that's why they're all after the coconut. Because they want to be the
later
ruler.
We do say K. Rool he just sort of shows the coconut and changes the factory, which we'll get to later. But he just sort of has this vague administrative power when you're carrying the coconut.
Yeah, you are the ruler.
DK because he's the future ruler.
Right, because he's not currently the ruler. He's not. That's not how it works. But so he goes to Inkadinkadu to ask him what the
secrets
of the coconut. Where we also learn some very interesting information about things that exist in the Donkey Kong universe, which I would like to cover now.
You've taken extensive notes on this. I was not sort of paying attention.
there are only a couple things. The first is King Kong. So King Kong is real. because
King Kong is real and mentioned.
So Inkadinkadu tells him that in order to know everything, one must give up everything, which is very vague, not helpful. And DK sings a song about it. There are songs in this, by the way, and they're all pretty good. I would say the songs are the high point.
Certainly high quality songs.
Well performed,
the rock song later sucks.
Well written. I think the Claptrap song is fun, but like we'll get to that.
We'll fight about that later.
So DK is singing to Inkadinkadu. He wants to know the secrets of the crystal, and it says give up to know everything, one must give up everything. Yeah. Some of the things DK lists as giving up is his autographed picture of his idol King Kong, which is
so King Kong isn't just real as a fictional.
He's
character.
a celebrity, as a real being.
Monkey.
Yeah, like he's a real being. And then the thing that's wilder to me is his Planet of the Apes trading cards.
Yeah,
How did Planet of the Apes happen in this universe? Is it fictional? Are we living in the after? Are we living in the? Is the Donkey Kong universe set in the aftermath of Planet of the Apes? Is that the
interesting?
Time? Is this like a sequel?
Is it a backdoor prequel to this is just some remote island? Well, that wouldn't explain why the gators are intelligent.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it wouldn't explain the. Well,
so
as we have that's property. Not. No, I think it's later because as we've explained, they are actually mammalian.
That is true.
So they've evolved from the monkeys to be lizards.
The gators have nipples, and King K. Rool has a belly.
No, excuse you, King K. Rool. I will have you. Yes. King K. Rool, as they pronounce
King
it.
K. Rool has no tail and a belly button. And
the lizards do have nipples.
Then I don't know what a mammal is.
No, it's from the lizard umbilical cord when he hatches from the egg.
Yeah, and they use their. Yeah, I don't want to think about the possibilities of gator milk.
Gilk, as it were. Gilk, as it were. Or they're crocodiles. No.
Yeah.
Croco.
But in the plot here, Donkey Kong says, I have to give up everything, so I'll give up the crystal coconut. You know, it's the most valuable thing I have.
When I give up the coconut, I'll know the secret, so I won't need it anymore, is his exact wording there.
So he gives it to K. Rool's minions.
Who are General Clump and Crusher.
Clump and Crusher. And when they go back to Cranky's house, he's like, you know, why the fuck did you give the crystal coconut away? And
no. See, they don't. Well, first before that, no, we actually get the remember the timeline. So, so it's actually very. I would like to point out, King K. Rool's actor. He's my favorite. He is delivering my favorite performance in the film.
Oh,
he's very funny. He's nailing every scene he's in. He's just this absolutely unhinged, maniacal.
He's giving so much more effort than he needed to, and I applaud him.
It's completely unnecessary, the level of effort. And he's given some very fun lines to work with, actually. A lot of his insults are very funny, which we'll get to later.
What is the one he always repeats? The
homespun idiots, yeah.
Yes, homespun idiots.
But no, so we get, before they go back to Cranky, we do get the introduction of the pirates.
Yeah.
And they say the pirate oath. We get our first establishment of the pirate oath, where Captain Scurvy and his two pirate henchmen, Green Croc and Cutlass. I did struggle for his name.
Yeah, I feel bad for Green Croc. His name, because he's not even the one that's more green.
Yeah, like he's like a lime, like yellowy green. He's not like a dark green.
No, lime yellowy is Cutlass.
No, I thought Green Croc was the dark green.
Because he's the one holding the cutlass. Or they
both have cutlass. Yeah, they both have cutlasses. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that the big one is Cutlass.
I thought the smaller one was Cutlass and the bigger one is Green Croc. Anyway, yeah. He's laying down the pirate. He wants to claim his birthright of his great-great-grandpappy, and we do get the pirate song, which is a banger.
Yes, well, the first pirate song.
The first pirate song, which is pirate, which is is this one Pirate Scorn, or is this one I'm gonna unmute it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Pirate Scorn, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute it again, and we sit. Need to unmute it. Okay, I can't let us have too much audio from the picture.
Yeah.
No, so we get the pirate song, which is really the first pirate song, which is really good. Yeah, this is Pirate Scorn. The next one is Booty Booty. Is the name of the.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, it's very excellent. So, so he lays out that he's gonna claim his birthright, the crystal coconut.
Well, they start on the shore, and then they go back on the ship to sing their song.
To shoot their music video. Yes, for fucking MTV. Yeah, they go back on the ship to block that out. And they establish that on the pirate, Scurvy swears on the pirate oath, and this is integral to the plot. This is not a one-off thing.
No.
Scurvy has a very bad toothache, and he swears on the pirate oath that he will grant one favor to anyone who rids him of this toothache. Hold on to that little information. We'll get to it later. I also noted, because at that point we cut back to we cut back to Cranky, I think, at that point. We cut back to Inkadinkadoo first, and then Inkadinkadoo says, just repeats it to know everyone was give up everything, and then Diddy's like, wow, you fucking idiot, you gave away the thing and you got nothing.
Yeah.
I think you goofed, DK.
We're gonna do one episode where we're watching it live and we're just doing the voice acting word for word as it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they go back to Inkadinkadoo. He says the same line. You know, to know everything, you must give up everything.
He's saying you really screwed the pooch here, man. Like,
yeah,
basically.
You gave Brave the crystal coconut, and the pirates show up, and this is something I'd like to talk about.
Yeah, go on. Go ahead.
The hand cannon.
That's your hang up.
It is because it is just a literal, like a ship cannon, like a classic pirate ship cannon, just shrunken down into his hand with no conceivable way to light it, no way to really aim it accurately, and if it was actually filled with gunpowder and a cannonball and fired from his hand, it would dislocate his shoulder or rip his entire arm off or whatever it is. It is ridiculous that they don't just give him like a classic pirate gun, but I'm guessing because it was a children's cartoon, this was somehow more appropriate than like a flintlock pistol. But it's so impractical, and I know that's very nitpicky for so early on, but it is ridiculous.
Would you rather he had like a flintlock pistol in this kid's show, or do you think it's like, is it more violent or less violent that he just has a miniature cannon that he carries around?
Well, if you don't think about it, if you sort of gloss over just visually, right? A flintlock pistol would definitely be more associated with modern guns, and a cannon is sort of like, oh, ancient technology, yada yada yada.
It's a cannon.
So yeah, it's
pirates
whatever.
Use
It's
cannons, but pirates also use guns. So like,
but if you think about the impact that the hand cannon would have on
the actual destructive power, yeah,
it would blast a hole through several people.
Well, apparently it won't blast a hole through anything, even if it's a full-sized cannon, which we'll get to later.
Wait, do they ever fire the hand cannon?
Yes, they do. Remember, Cranky Matrix dodges it, which we will we'll cover later.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
We don't actually. We never see the payload fly out of the hand cannon because that would be too much to animate.
Yeah,
but
I think
we do see the hand cannon does get fired at least once.
Yeah, that is true. We never see any of the cannons fire because that would have.
No, we saw the final one. The final one does actually get a fire.
I'm pretty sure it cuts away because it would be too much to animate.
No, go back over. Is there a way to give me control over this? Because I can't. Can we?
If we want to pause or not pause the recording.
Only the host can edit the playlist and update the video state. Can you change that?
Allow everyone to edit the playlist.
Okay.
And update the video
All right.
state.
Perfect. Okay. There we go. All right. Let me expand the video once more. Let me get us over to the cannon, because I'm pretty sure it does like expand actually, like, and shoot. Like, it does like the cartoon thing where it shoots, right? I'm pretty, not there. I want it to go, no. I want, what are you doing, Discord? Here, go here. We're gonna play. I'm pretty sure it. Yeah, like
It's in the very last one, right?
it's right here. It's happening right now. I've got it playing. Yeah. See,
I don't see it happening. There we go. Okay, we see the cannonball in the cannon. He's holding just a match, which is definitely what they
see,
use to
see,
light
it does
cannon.
get fired. It gets fired.
Sort of, yeah.
Kind of,
You don't really see the cannon. The angle's a bit weird.
Yeah, right.
I think they're trying to save on animation.
We're spending way
too
long on the cannon. Is just
I mean, I have in my
absurd.
notes literally just hand cannon sucks, and my next note is rotten hell.
Okay, I've got some in between those then. My note, so the next scene, after they redo with Cranky, they shake back
is
up.
rotten hell not in this scene, or is that?
It's not in the scene. The rotten hell is in the final scene of the episode. Let me take this back here. So the next scene is back with K. Rool and K. Rool's like, how'd you get the coconut? And Clump goes into this whole tirade. Clump, I love his dialogue as well, I'd like to say. I love his military lingo and how he's very stupid, but like he gets a lot of very fun lines to say.
I would agree, yeah.
He's like, it's the bloody battle of the baboons, and then Crusher, the very stupid one, will chimes in and says that Donkey Kong just gave them the coconut. Yeah.
It's the absolute classic like dynamic of underlings.
Smart henchman, which is who is also stupid, and the stupid henchman.
Yeah, boss henchman and the boss henchman.
Yeah, very much. The big stupid.
Classic. It's tropey, but it's good every time. I've never seen it done poorly.
Yeah, I would agree. And I just like this has got its own spin of him just being this military guy, which is very funny to me. Like he's but so he's gonna go off on his own thing, and then Crusher chimes in and says how DK just gave them the coconut, and so K. Rool decides that it must be a trap, and so orders them.
This is a pretty big leap.
It orders them to take the coconut back to Cranky. And my note is just that every conflict, every movement of the plot arises from the absolute buffoonery and stupidity of every character in the show. Everyone in the show is a complete moron.
Well, I mean, this is a bit vague, but every conflict arises because they choose to think, like, they overthink something, right?
Right.
They think it's a trick, they think it's a trap, they think, there's more to it than it is, and they're like, all right, I guess we gotta,
Which is after the song. We have another song where everyone is like, so DK and Scurvy are on their way to K. Rool, and Clump and Crush are on their way back to Cranky's to give it back, and so they both show up. K. Rool and DK show up. Scurvy and DK show up at K. Rool's place, and like, yeah, here I've got it pulled up. And that particular part is actually very funny to me. Where they are you good, or were you looking for it or what? Oh,
no, sorry, my dad was at my door.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so yeah, so you have this scene where DK and Scurvy arrive, and Scurvy shows up, and like K. Rool is like dumbfounded at this pirate guy. And he's going into the thing, and he's doing the, like, a yada, 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 like, literally in show of, like, his whole spiel that he's done 3 times by now. And he's like, what was the next part? And DK's, your tooth? Oh, yeah. Ow! And he just, like, when he's reminded of the pain, it hurts him. But, like, if he's forgotten it, it doesn't happen, which is very funny. And then
very good.
And so they find out that his henchmen are taking the coconut back, so they run after them. Fucking when Clump and Crusher get to Cranky's place, they're like, we're returning the coconut, and Cranky is like, it's a trap. And so
just fucking launches, like, the floor drops out. Things we never see again, by the way.
Yeah, things we never see happen
very useful for when the pirates attack later, or the henchmen attack later. The floor drops out from underneath the platform. It, like, rises and springs them away. What was the other one?
I think it's well, there's one where, like, the planks kind of go up and fling them one at a time. There's one where the floor drops out. There's one where a main one like it goes up drawbridge style and smacks Clump as he's trying to bungee barrel.
Yeah.
It's just a whole lot of slapstick. By the way, the fucking jungle. The fucking jungle. Let me get that shot.
Good.
The fucking jungle. Please let me find it.
When they get launched
It's this
away,
one. It's this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here
They're running together. Every other plank springs up. No, yeah. Oh, yeah. When he's launched from the barrel with a scope on it, drawbridge style launches, and then sort of just ambiguously they're both
ambiguously they launch, and this fucking jungle. This fucking jungle.
It's a really like low quality, almost like
it literally it just looks like a camouflage print PNG on the that's meant to represent the entire jungle. It's very
good.
It's very excellent. And there's a whole lot of buffoonery that happens still. They finally get the coconut back, and then Cranky's like, "This is great," and then Diddy's like, "But what if the pirates come back?" And it's like, "Oh shit." So he astral project. This is where he astral projects, or goes into the coconut realm, rather, to the coconut dimension.
He coconuts out.
Yeah, I'm going coconut, I believe, is what he says before he.
And then he coconuts all over the place.
He coconuted everywhere. Yeah. So he.
I really don't like the phrase coconutted everywhere.
Yeah, I thought about that after I said it. Anyway, so he. God, this thing's so long. We're still on the first episode. That's okay. This is an establishing one. It'll be quicker later when we're sunk into our misery. So he warns DK, and then Diddy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hide somewhere where they'll never find it." And both DK and Scurvy run into Cranky's house, see that no one's there, and immediately figure out where they need to go, apropos of nothing, with no clues whatsoever. They both just kind of figure out to go to the Temple of Inkadinkadu, of course. So the pirate henchmen show up and corner Cranky and Diddy, and then DK shows up to kind of provide backup, and then Scurvy shows up with a great line where his presence is kind of announced by his tooth pain acting up, and he says, "Shiver me molars," which is just a very
very good line. Very good.
Hey Mitch, is this a good funny movie? is this
no,
good?
We can't make that call so early.
It's too early.
We can't make that call too early.
We'll have to see if it holds up. Anyway, he also you want to bring up your note, which this is the scene where that happens.
Yeah, Scurvy just says "rot in hell."
Yeah, my great grandpappy, may he rot in hell, would be rolling.
Yeah,
this is a kids. This is a piece of kids media.
What year did you say this came out again?
96. 96 is right.
96. That explains it. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're probably allowed
one
hell in 96.
One hell, yeah. One hell.
I mean, probably.
And one damn.
I know whatever the rating agency has gotten stricter over time, so this was still probably PG.
This would probably
cartoon violence.
PG, maybe, honestly.
Cartoon violence.
I would say. Do you think it's like
PG.
TV? Like, well, it's a TV, so it wouldn't be. Do you think it's like TV Y7 maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
Or is it? Do you think like the general audience's one?
Well, it was. I mean, if it was released as VHS, it might have.
This might have been rated separately. You think? I don't know.
I would say I don't know the TV ratings quite. I know that I think if it was movie ratings, it would be PG. At least in 1997.
This is completely just. It's weird that we're trying to justify that he says "may he rot in hell" in this child's media. But my final note for this episode, well, I have two. The first is that the plot is resolved by a promise for in exchange for dental work, because yes, as we said earlier, the toothache resolution, the favor, DK punches him in the face and knocks a tooth out. No, he throws the coconut at him. That's true. He throws the coconut at him. That's true. So DK has the coconut, which is psychotic that he throws it away, which happens a lot in this.
That's the last time that happened.
This just happens a lot, in this. Someone has the coconut and chucks it and like loses it
as a projectile.
As a weapon. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another power it has. You can clock a motherfucker with it. I think that's the third.
Yeah, but you can also do that with any coconut.
Yeah, but like the crystal coconut seems to really kind of clock people when they get hit by it. It's enough to knock out a tooth. That's a meaty hit, I would say. So it's also useful as a projectile. So it has 3 powers. Maybe that's why they give up when they carry it around. They don't want to get like just walloped by it. They don't want to get clocked.
Yes, that is another just general comment about the film. So many times there's like a conflict and someone gets the coconut and then they're like, all right, we'll let them get away and then we'll start a new conflict later.
Yeah.
Like, we could fight them right now here, but instead we'll wait and fight them again later with with no extra planning, right? They're not like showing up like suited up and kitted, ready to fight. They're in the exact same state they were, just now in a different scene and place.
Right. I do want to move us along here. My final note for this introductory episode is, why is Cranky praising DK when this is all his fault in the first place? Because he's like, well, you don't always do things the right way, but you get them done. And it's like, what do you mean, get it done? This is all Donkey Kong's fault in the initial... He incited this.
The entire thing, yeah. If he had done nothing, but actually, well... To be fair, if he had done nothing, the pirates
would just come and got the things.
They always let they always let the pirates just take the crystal and then get it back. But they don't let
K.
Rool and his minions just get
unless
the crystal.
unless they're just that's not true though, because an episode the pirates. See, I think the difference is that K. Rool never comes in with a hand cannon. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I think Scurvy figured it out. He's just like, I'm just gonna pull a fucking gun and I'm going to shoot you if you don't give me the coconut. Yes. But then he doesn't. K. Rool has guns later, so like, what?
Yeah, well, even scarier guns. To be honest.
Much scarier guns, because the cannonballs are cartoon physics, but the guns are also cartoon physics, but in a different way. Actually, I think I do have... I didn't write it down, but I did want to acknowledge the very great line from Inka Dinka Doo at the end of the episode, where he's just on his neutral expression. Because Inka Dinka Doo has a rotating face where he has different expressions. This is wild. You need to...
I have a theory for this. I'll explain it later. But I have a theory about this, so.
Very excellent. So like he's on his neutral expression, and it's like the Inka Dinka Doo has said two lines. This whole episode, where he says, Inka Dinka Doo says the time has come, and then also to know everything, one must give up everything. And it's in this crazy kind of like, here, let me kind of, Inka Dinka Doo says the time has come. And it's got this crazy echo on it.
It's great.
And then in the final scene, he's just whatever.
It's so good.
It's very excellent. It's very funny.
It's a very good closing scene in stark contrast to DK suddenly narrating. So, with the exception of one scene, there are no fourth wall breaks, right? It is a standard show, except for the narration that just sort of, I mean, it makes sense why they have it. You know, they're combining a bunch of episodes of a TV show
the narration doesn't exist in the show proper. I would assume, as a guy I said, I've never seen it, but I would assume.
It is so startling watching this for the first time, all of a sudden hearing, so me and Diddy Kong. Like, it is just...
Oh, actually, I did have one other minor note at the end of this one, which is, how did Scurvy get the cast off without his crew?
Yeah, that's a good... Oh, wait.
Yeah, because this is where he leaves without his crew, and with Crusher and Clump are stowed away on board. But, like, the other two, like, guys are, like, just running on the...
To be fair,
they get left behind.
Like, sailing.
That's true. The boat, I think, is actually just like a motorboat, and it's just secretly hidden. Yeah, that's a good theory.
Yeah, but the narration sort of covers like the pirates were on the shore, and they're like, and then the boat was parked, and everyone got back to where they needed to be. Next episode.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just really puts a bow on it. Really nails the wrap up.
Yeah. And this is the first, or this is the second pirate song, which is very, very good.
Not quite yet. Not quite yet. First, we have the introduction. The start of the second episode, which I have titled. I have titles for all of them. The first one is introductions. The second one is
Jesus.
I had to sneeze real quick. Pardon me.
Yeah.
The second one I have titled Bog Monster. Just simply Bog Monster, because that is episode 2.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't start off in the bog. It starts off with them playing as spies on banana phones. And what's great about the banana phones is it is like a full-ass banana with an antenna. And it has a keypad on both the inside curve and the outside curve.
On both sides of it, yeah. It's just textured on both sides.
Like, it's more work, right?
It is,
It would be less work to just put the one keypad on it.
Yeah.
They put 2. So I don't understand.
They wanted us to really
dynamic.
understand it was a phone. Also, I would like to highlight one of the good subtle lines, which is here at the beginning, where they're guerrilla agents, which is very funny.
Yes.
That's a very good. That's actually a competently written like joke line, not like an over the top. That's like a subtle joke. That's funny.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not played for a joke. Like, it's not like we're guerrilla fighters.
Yeah, we're guerrilla agents.
It's said like fully seriously, which makes me think it might not have been written.
It might not have been like a guerrilla like type deal.
Yeah, it might have been a coincidence, in because guerrilla warfare is an actual like type of.
It's called guerrilla warfare though, isn't it? Actually, like the actual.
No, it's called guerrilla warfare.
That's weird. I thought it was like they gained. I don't know. Anyway, I would like to point it. Yeah, so they're playing with these banana phones and they find this weird like thing. It's like a weird like it looks like a boomerang, honestly.
Yeah,
like a weird metal
gem.
gemstone boomerang, and they set down the banana phone, and Clump and Crusher are spying on them, and they end up stealing the banana phone and scurrying while they're investigating this amulet. And so I would say the moral of this episode is centering around practical jokes,
and their dangers to society.
And the dangers that they
provide. Did he come out, takes off his hat and looks like a bald little boy?
Yeah, he looks like a bald little gremlin.
It scares me to my core.
And so basically they steal the banana phone, and then DK and Diddy decide to prank them and get them to go to the Forbidden Forest, the Congo Bongo, by saying there's some kind of this amulet that they found is actually some kind of crazy power thing. And K. Rool believes that and sends his henchmen over. I would also like to point out the horrible, weird thingy thing here when he is getting closer to the banana phone. Oh
yeah. Oh god.
No, it's actually back a little bit. It's actually this a little bit back, a little bit further. It's when let me.
Because he does that earlier too, with like the little like creepy claws.
Yeah, I mean it's just very strange animation choice. Because they'll start talking. Yeah, see, like it's right here where he like.
He just rotates like they
love to rotate, but like
Lazy Susan.
It's this like.
Oh god, yeah.
No wait, here it comes. It's this. This is particularly what I took note of. This like, weird, like that, like that weird.
Oh wow,
awful
yeah, that sounds like
thingy.
horror movie, like super long fingers, like clicking and scratching.
Okay, so we do. They trick them into going to the Forbidden Forest. We need to move this along. God, we're already 43 minutes in. Jesus Christ. They trick the Karul's forces into going, and they return to Cranky and they tell him about it. And Cranky's like, "Don't you know that amulet's actually cursed? It's the amulet of Bugga Boogie, and you've got to take it to the Forbidden Forest." And they run off.
And I shamefully was like, "Oh, he improvised that line." Like,
yeah, he thought that was not like he thought the actor like improvised that.
And it was revealed later, Cranky was playing a prank on them, and it wasn't actually cursed. And Noah pointed out, he was like, "That means it was good acting.
That means
you thought it was
true.
improvised because
in universe it was improv. Like Cranky actually made that up, which was very funny.
Very good.
Yeah, I would like to note, and then next we get another pirate song, because the pirates are in this episode as well, because they're in every episode. And in this pirate song, I've made a note of another thing. I might try to catch some on subsequent watches again, if there are any more. But I did note that this song reveals that Kilimanjaro exists. Like Mount Kilimanjaro is a real place in the Donkey Kong universe. And also Merlin, because he mentions stealing Merlin's crystal ball.
Yeah, so this does fit into our theory that this is a Planet of the Apes sequel, in that it is taking place in our world.
Yeah, it's like just our world, but like a sequel, and it's very far down because then there's lizards evolving from monkeys, but they're still mammalian lizards, which is just okay. So we gotta move on from this. So the pirates are after the coconut, and
I mean, pretty basic hijinks ensue. They're both
it's basic hijinks. They're all like DK.
Henchmen get trapped in quicksand.
Quicksand with a question mark, because that's just a vat of cement that they fall into.
Maybe it's more like a tar pit, is what it really looks like.
Maybe it is a tar pit. Actually, that could be true. In the scene, where and DK explains that he saw a bog monster here when he was young. He's very scared of it.
He's pranking him and teasing him about it.
Yeah, and there's a whole song about it.
DK scares himself with the song.
DK really, yeah, that happens later. Actually, the song is later. The song's later in the thing, but Funky Kong shows up. And do you want to describe Funky Kong visually for the audience?
Blonde. Funky, but it just looks like he's nude.
Yeah,
it's really upsetting.
Is like the same color as any of the skin that is shown, so he's just looks like he's just completely naked and shaved.
He's wearing sunglasses because he's Funky Kong, but the sunglasses move and change shape with his eyes. The sunglasses squint, the sunglasses extend in surprise.
It's very Deadpool-esque, where they kind of make expressions with the sunglasses, much like the mask.
Yes.
So DK, and so they overhear Cranky speak. K. Rool overhears Cranky speaking into the banana phone accidentally and talking about how the amulet's worthless. So K. Rool is like, "This is stupid." And he's like, "You guys need to come back. We're gonna go after the coconut. We don't care about this thing anymore." Except Clump and Crush both sank into the tar pit at this one, and K. Rool has to go do it himself. Cranky needs to go warn. Needs to go
come back.
DK because the pirates are there. Like Funky,
the coconut
Funky notices the pirates in the coconut. Oh, the coconut can also scry on people. That's true.
Yes.
Coconut has scrying powers. Yeah. Okay. I like how we're discovering, we're remembering in real time the powers of the coconut.
Yeah.
So he sees the pirates there, and Cranky goes to warn DK. And the pirates show up. The frame that Cranky leaves. Literally, it's the frame that Cranky leaves. So it's right here. See, Cranky just disappeared, and now the pirate. He's like, "I'm feeling negative," and they're here. They're here instantly.
Yes. And Funky Kong will play into a theory that I guess we'll have to wait till episode 2, but I'll sort of put that as a stinger for what that theory is.
Oh yeah, there's some stuff with Funky Kong going on. There's a lot with him. In the short amount of time that he's here, he puts a lot on the table.
Possibly a bit of a stereotype. He has a Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
stuff about karma and
we'll get to the karma.
Yeah, we'll get to the karma. Let's not steal from future. Yeah. So the pirates steal everything and put Funky in a barrel. They end up, DK and Diddy, after this song, Cranky tells them the pirates are here. They pass by Clump and Crusher, giving them the amulet. And then K. Rool goes and finds them after. So Cranky comes out of the coconut first, and he's in the pirate ship now because they have the coconut. And K. Rool goes and finds them. And I took particular note of this, that K. Rool says to his henchmen when he finds them, they're like, "Oh, this amulet is very powerful, mysterious." And he says, "Only a complete moron would believe that." Hey, K. Rool, you sent the guys here to get this thing in the first place, and only only learned otherwise by accident from Cranky.
But also that is like such typical children's villain behavior.
That is typical Karul behavior.
I was tricked, and it's all your fault.
Correct.
Yes.
And then also,
classic villain.
So we find out that DK goes to check up with Cranky on the ship, and Cranky tells him. So DK's whole thing is he's scared of this bog monster that he saw as a kid in the Forbidden Forest. Cranky reveals that it was actually him all along. So I think casually revealing that you instilled this like PTSD in your grandson, I think, is the relationship.
Yeah, we'll talk about the family dynamic at some point.
Yeah, it's a bit messed up that he traumatized DK for like his entire life as a prank, as a practical joke, which was done on purpose. He wanted to keep him away from the Forbidden Forest because it was dangerous, but like that's neither here nor there. So a lot of hijinks ensue. Karul ends up in the quicksand after tricking Scurvy into giving him the coconut, and then DK just gets the coconut back, and then we're left ambiguous as to whether the bog monster is real or not, which I think is very funny.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. And then I want to highlight this scene at the end where Funky wakes up out of the barrel, and says that the amulet is the hood ornament from his plane this whole time.
Yeah.
And the joke is on them, but also
why it was in the jungle. No idea.
It fell off. He lost it on his last barrel run. He said that in the do not poke holes in the. It's in the script, dude. Come on.
I don't have this movie memorized. This is only watch one.
That's true. That's true. You will have it memorized in a year from now. That's for sure. So Funky leaves, and he's like, "We're going to Karma," and that's how the episode ends. I think Bog Monster is probably the weakest of the episodes. No, actually,
it's decent. I think can't it's tied the episodes at this point.
Yeah, we will have a tier list at some point in this podcast's life. I think I think that it's tied between this and the next episode, which is just episode 3, Amnesia Plot, which of course it is. DK falls and hits.
How much time are we at on this recording, by the way?
52. We've got a schmooze here.
Yeah.
So episode 3 is the Amnesia Plot. DK hits his head and forgets who he is.
He slipped on a banana peel.
Because he slipped on a banana peel, which is
great bit. Because
classic.
Instead of every other cartoon where they slip and fall down where they're standing, they slip and just get
slide. Yeah, they get launched across the entire room.
They don't slide. They don't slide. They get launched because the banana peel like does the classic little flip, and they just get flung across the room.
Well, with Diddy, I think it stays on his foot as he slides across. I think that's I think it happens. Let's. No, never mind. No, it does just do the thing. Yeah, he kicks it kinda. So his feet the friction is removed from his feet when he steps on the banana peel, and he slides across the room, which is very excellent. I did note that DK acknowledges the audience here.
Yeah.
So
when he wakes up.
When he wakes up and he doesn't remember who he is, Diddy's like, "You've got problems," and then DK turns to the camera and he's like, "Sounds like you're the one. He's the one with the problem." And it's
it's the only time that sort of reference is made.
The only time that there's a fourth wall break at all.
Yes. Afterwards, we are introduced to
Candy
Kong, who because she is Girl Monkey, and everyone knows about girls, is she has to wear jean shorts.
She does have cut off jorts and a crop top. Correct. It's very 90s. It is very 90s fashion.
Well, and she has like
flip flops. Oh, she's also wearing flip flops. Yeah, she's wearing makeup. She also has flip flops, as we noted on Funky. It was strange that he was wearing shoes. She also wears shoes.
She has a headband.
She does make a great joke here as she's like mad that DK hasn't shown up for their date, and he walks by in the background and she doesn't notice him. But she makes a great line of like, "I'm not going to take, gee, sorry, Candy, I forgot," as an answer, which is very funny.
Oh, she also has a bracelet on because
he's lost his. She's wearing earrings too. She's a girl as well.
God.
And I just wrote a note.
Kirby also does have an earring.
My note. Well, we should talk about that as well. I did just put a note. It just says Candy's grotesque. Is
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Her
yeah,
design physically is also very bad.
it's not
She
good.
looks much like just like a normal person, unlike the rest of the monkeys who look like
With like
monkeys.
weird hair
She
texture,
just
but
looks
still a
like a
monkey-like
normal
face. It is.
woman, but like she's got like a monkey type face, and she's got fur. But aside from that, she's just got a normal human woman physique, and she's very off-putting. Um,
Yeah,
it's very bad.
yeah.
Uh,
Even like the eye proportions,
that's
like
in here. We're spending way too
monkeys
long
don't
on.
really look like monkeys at all.
We're
Like if you
spending
actually think about what a monkey looked like, but this is just way too human.
we're spending
It's
far too long on this. We next move to the pirates, who are doing a very. I did not find this. I did not laugh at this gag a single time of them wondering why they're burying the treasure. It's not
yeah,
very
not
funny.
fun, not
It's,
entertaining.
it's not a good joke.
We talk about like pirate code or something.
It's section 3, paragraph 4 of the Pirates Code is we bury the treasure, and like it never says why in the Pirates Code, because it doesn't actually answer the question. The question is just the answer to the question is just because it's in the Pirates Code. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly funny. However, this leads into the psychotic part next. DK shows up at the pirates, and they convince him that he is not just a pirate like them, but also a crocodile.
He's Donkey Croc.
He's Donkey Croc. He's a
Which
crocodile.
is, to be fair, more believable because the initials line up with his tie than the later instance, which we will talk
No,
about.
see, Donkey Croc is DC. No, the says it would be DC. Donkey Croc.
It's better than Donkey Rule.
We'll get to Donkey Rule, but the important thing is that he literally acknowledges this himself at the start of the next song, which is the reflection tells a story of a pirate's life. The Mirror Never Lies, I think, is the name of this song.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't remember being a croc. You sure I'm not some kind of monkey? That is a line of dialogue that he says.
Yeah.
And Scurvy pulls an empty, like large portrait frame and pretends that it is a mirror and mirrors Donkey Kong's dance choreography to convince him that DK is seeing his reflection as Scurvy.
Yes.
And so that's what he is.
Well,
despite the fact that DK could look down at any moment in time and see that he is in fact not a crocodile. But
also, about a third of the way into the song, they fully give up on the mirror and they like switch sides and they're dancing around it in ways that are obviously not synchronized. So I don't like it was. I think it was just a plot point for the song. Like I don't really think it was actually.
Yeah,
like,
you don't think he's actually. I think he was though because like look at the end of the song, he gets DK look. See, watch. We'll do. It happens. Here, let me go.
Yeah, see, they like switch.
Yeah, they switch sides, but they're still mirroring though. He's still mirroring, and he doesn't realize. And then see here at the end, like he's almost thrown off. He's almost figures it out, but he's too stupid to realize. And Scurvy's like, "Oh shit, I need to get back in there." So I think that he does convince him with the mirror, despite the fact that DK could look down and see that he is a furry man instead of a crocodile.
Anyways, yeah. They convince him he's a pirate and he has the worst eye patch ever. They just textured the eyelid black and then closed it.
Yes, it is very bad.
Exactly what this is. And so Donkey Kong goes and starts pirating. He steals a bunch of stuff. We see a sort of.
I don't want to jump over. I don't want to jump over this great lines from Donkey Kong though as a pirate, which are very funny because he says, "I." Nose, throat,
throat.
A blast me hardly is
not a good thing to hear. Throat.
Yeah, and then a blast me hardlies and shiver me tree trunks, which is just it's all very excellent that they've written.
It's very well written.
It's very funny.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
we then get this montage of him stealing. We see he steals from Candy, and he steals from what ostensibly is a Yeti.
Yeah, there's like a
but
Yeti
in reality,
Kong.
It is Donkey Kong painted white in some sort of ice cave, which is actually identical to a cave we see later, just sort of textured bluish white, like it's ice.
Right.
Yetis also do eat bananas, because of everyone does.
Yeah, they're all. Well, he's like a Yeti Kong. He's not just like a big like Sasquatch. He is like a Kong.
Yeah. He also steals from K. Rool, and also eventually goes back and steals the crystal
The
coconut.
coconut. He just.
From himself.
That's my favorite part is where he just busts into the.
He says, "I'll take that."
He just busts in. They're like, Donkey Kong's here, and then he just runs in, grabs the coconut, leaves. No one makes any attempt to stop him, and then he steals Funky's plane, and he just leaves.
Yeah, and then he steals the plane of the naked creep monster.
He just becomes hyper confident when he becomes a pirate.
The name is Donkey Croc.
Donkey Croc. The name's Donkey Croc. And then this shot is wild to me. Let me get it. I want to get it right on there. Let me get it real quick.
Yes. So they cut back to the pirates briefly, and they're all like, "Oh, we're so cool. We
got the
Donkey
coconut."
Kong.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the ship from far away, and just the texture of K. Rool's hand in sort of like a spyglass, like he's holding one, but it's on the camera of the screen. And then it cuts, and you see them holding their hands up to their eyes.
The hand binoculars and spyglasses are very funny. They're very good.
It is so good.
Oh, it's very good.
Hijinks continue.
Yeah, they realize that like he's been tricked into thinking he's. Oh, there's also a great line here from K. Rool. I don't want to skip over as well. Where Clump is like, they realize that DK thinks he's a pirate for some reason or other.
Yeah.
And Clump is like, he's been brainwashed. And K. Rool's like, something only you'd be immune to, which is a very funny put down. He gets a lot of very good. Oh, I meant to bring it up earlier. Where is it? Where it's in my. He calls them. K. Rool calls the monkeys knuckle dragging throwbacks. What does that mean?
Knuckle dragging makes sense.
Yeah. What is a throwback?
Which actually they don't. Real monkeys do.
Yeah, but these guys don't. But like throwbacks.
Like,
what does that mean?
Like sort of like. It doesn't
right,
fit,
like
if
yeah,
I
like
called someone a throwback, I would think like, oh, you're so old, you're out of style, you're
yeah,
behind.
like you're out of touch type.
But like, what does that have to do with this monkey man?
Yeah, I don't know. And so they spend the episode. So like, the pirates get sick of DK, and they get sick of DK having a bunch of monkeys, a bunch of bananas, and being a monkey on the ship.
He makes the worst sounds when he's eating them.
The eating sounds are very, very terrible. So they send him to go hunt Donkey Kong, which is admittedly very funny that they send him on this goose chase. Cranky's trying to figure out how to get his memory back, and he recruits Candy for that. And then he has a run-in with K. Rool, who DK says, if you're gonna try and tell me that I'm Donkey Kong I'm Donkey Croc the pirate, not Donkey Kong the ape. And K. Rool just says, no, you're not. To which DK responds, I'm not. And he says, no, you're Donkey Rool. And that's it. That's all it's required.
It just works.
That's all it takes. Well, to be fair, he does do a song afterward, which is a banger. One of you, I think, is what I would title this one.
Yeah.
And they're both kind of really delivering on this really like up-tempo rock. Let me get like a little sample of it real quick. You skipped a little bit. Oh, it's you skipped the whole thing, bro. I believe you can't see what we see here. It's a very excellent up-tempo rock. They're nailing it. So that convinces him that he's Donkey Rool. So he goes
to trick the pirates to steal a coconut.
Well, not quite. Here we have the instance of Diddy Kong is a time traveler. Yeah, he's either a time traveler or he's got that Saraven future sight, I think. Because they're trying.
Well, yes.
To... if you want to tackle it, go ahead.
They're trying to convince Donkey Kong that he is Donkey Kong, and they're trying to do so by showing him memories or reminding him of things.
They're like, hey, remember when this happened? And they do the thing where they show footage from previous episodes and, like, they save on animation that way. It's very cheap way to produce an episode, but it's like a clip show type deal.
Yes. But the first one we see is from the future. It
Yeah,
is from the last
which
episode
we
in
find
the
out.
movie.
We find out in the next episode, which is the last one. It is an event that has not taken place yet chronologically.
Yeah. So Diddy Kong can see into the future. He has some sort of foresight, divination, something, or it's just a sloppy continuity error. But I think they knew what they were doing. This was intentional.
I think he is a time traveler. Really, I think that he's been on so many adventures with DK, and maybe the coconut is capable of sending you back in time.
Actually, this also hold on. This also fits in. I will explain all of this in just a second. They do a second flashback with Funky Kong, and Funky Kong just sort of asks the Abyss for drum music. They're in the temple of Inca Dinkadu, and there is a narrow platform of stone that Donkey Kong walks across to nothing. Also,
yeah, there's no hallway or anything on the other end. There's nothing that he's going to.
Yes.
And there are arrows coming out of the wall out of no hole or anything. They are just coming out of the wall.
Yes. And Funky Kong asks God for drum music, and he gets it.
And he delivers. And he fucking delivers.
Yeah. I think now's the time to sort of sum up my theory on this.
Okay, go on.
That Inca Dinkadu is the Hindu god Brahma, the four-headed god of creation.
Go on.
In Hinduism, they believe in samsara, which is sort of reincarnation, right? When you die, your karma affects your position in your next life.
Been reincarnated?
And yes. So Diddy Kong is remembering things from his past life.
Oh, it was a past
life. That's what he can see into the future, right? So. But
it was a past life where he was also Diddy Kong.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He saw a past life from the beginning of the previous universe, right? So the whole universe just repeats itself in cycles.
Yeah,
time is a
closed circle.
The future of the past. This also plays into Funky Kong talking about karma all the time, right? He talks about karma. Why do monkeys know about karma? Because Inca Dinkadu is an incarnation of the Hindu god Brahma.
I don't know which side I'm on. That is kind of airtight. I was thinking more along the lines. I think that maybe the crystal coconut has also the power to send you through time, but also maybe Diddy wasn't aware that he's been sent through time. Maybe he's an accidental time traveler.
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't know. And though that theory I think does kind of fall apart later when they are in the ship and he does not acknowledge, hey, I've been through this before already.
Yeah,
maybe,
I don't. Well,
but he would have experienced it then and then been sent back in time, right?
Yeah. No. What I think it is he remembers that happening and he thinks it already happened.
This is like week 20 stuff that we're really into so early.
When it does happen, he knows what happens. He knows that they succeed, and he knows
he has to. Yeah, he has to do the time travel thing where he can't. Yeah, right. Do you think there's a second Diddy Kong running around elsewhere then at that point in time?
No, I think he's simply remembering things from the previous universe. Also,
you're in the reincarnation thing. I'm definitely in the time travel angle, which we'll have to look for subsequent evidence on future viewings. Try and catch both of them. Anyway, so this is all to say that DK eventually remembers who he is because Candy knocks him into a tree and helps him remember. And then so they hatch a plan where DK pretends to be Donkey Croc and he goes and gets the pirate back from the coconut back from the pirates, and he tricks them. He's like, they're coming, like Karul is coming with a whole army. I'm gonna go hide the coconut so it's safe. You guys gotta go now. I'll give you a map to it later. And then Karul, he does the same thing too. He's like, the pirates are running around. I had to hide it. Here's a map. And they do this great line where DK says, boy, it sure is nice having the crystal coconut again. And Cranky says, you can say that again. And DK says, boy, it sure is nice having...
I think they repeat the same line. I don't even think they recorded it twice. I think they literally play the same
No, because he does... It is different here. I will play this section because it is good.
Having the crystal coconut back. You can say that again, boy. It sure is nice having.
Yeah, the way he like cuts
he gets
off like that
interrupted,
makes
yeah.
you, yeah, it's very funny. I like that scene a lot. And then the two lizards that are also mammals show up and find DK. The moral of this one is don't leave your banana peels lying around. That's the moral of this story.
Keep your grades up, clean your room, do what your parents tell you.
Yeah, this one is don't leave your banana peels everywhere. Like, don't create hazardous situations for people. Because the end, he has stashed all his full bananas and banana peels at the place where he told them the treasure is.
Peels,
and they run at it because Karul and Scurvy both arrive at the same time, and so they like see this barrel and they will sprint at it, and they run off the cliff like of their own volition. Like they're not
pushed. On the banana peels.
Oh, they slip. That's what it is.
All the banana peels and they slip right off the cliff.
And then this is where the barrel like ignores physics there at the end.
Oh yeah, it
stops rotating
and then just stops before.
Yeah, the rotation stops. It's very good. And then so they get amnesia and they think they're monkeys because they're surrounded by when again they could just look at their scaly skin and figure out that they are not primates, but they are.
But don't worry, the narration resolves that one in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
And they got better later.
And they realize we made monkeys out of both of them, and then they're like, and then that leads. We did skip over. He does say. In the future flashback, he does say "banana slamma," which is his catchphrase, which is very excellent.
Yes.
And then
are we going on to the last episode?
Oh, there's also that beautiful cinematic swan dive that he did into the pit.
Yes.
I want to go back and look at that real quick. Let me see if that.
It is glorious.
It's right here. I want to just really cover. This is really great. He leaps like 40 feet through the air.
To dive down.
Into a pit. Yeah, it's very excellent. Which he would have just died. He would have just fallen in and died. Sure. And then that leads us to the fourth episode and final, which I have dubbed Coconut Shuffle. Do you think that's a good? Okay, go on.
Yeah. Quickly before you get to the last episode, throughout this entire first watch, I was making a extensive tally list of the number of times DK's teeth either rescind back into his gums or emerge like Wolverine's claws.
No, I would compare him to Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, who just has the retractable teeth.
Yes. So I marked a tally down every time Donkey Kong went from gums to teeth and from teeth to gums. And do you want to take a guess at how many tallies I marked?
It's got to be at least 30.
51.
51 is very good.
51. Hold on, let me get out a calculator right here. 60 plus 28. The number of minutes is 88. So divided by 51 divided by 88 is 0.5.
So
per minute. So there was one tooth change at least every other minute.
One tooth change every 2 minutes is very funny.
God, it's so weird. I mean, this is consistent with Donkey Kong's character in I think almost every game he's in. Sometimes he has teeth, sometimes he does not. I know in Smash Bros, like his character model has teeth, but then like the victory pose doesn't, and some of the taunts do, and sometimes doesn't. It's very weird. I don't know when or why this.
It's definitely not lazy animation. It was a purposeful choice on behalf of the animators.
None of the other monkeys have teeth.
Right, yeah.
None of the Crocs do.
This lends credence to our theory though, of the Planet of the Apes, the lizards being descended from the Planet of the Apes monkeys, so that's why they have mammalian traits. DK is like the missing link between. He's got teeth. Like the lizards, he's like a missing link type.
So you don't know how evolution works at all, then. Because the missing link would be an ancestor, not someone that's alive currently. Like
no, they're all alive at the same time.
Because evolution is when you get better at something throughout your lifetime, right? That's what evolution is.
Oh yeah, he's got.
We're getting stuck on this.
Neither here nor there. Okay, I've dubbed the fourth episode "Coconut Shuffle," which is the best that I could come up with because there's no real other like descriptive feature. This could be like Minecart Madness, I think, is also, but that's only half the episode. So like,
Yeah.
So this opens with we're an hour 14, so we're really trying to chug along here.
Yeah.
The future episodes will be more streamlined because we don't need to cover the plot. We've got Coconut Shuffle. This opens with is very quiet. The pirates have been gone for a while. Karul hasn't done any schemes. Cranky is kind of complaining that he's the quiet life. No one comes to visit. And then there's a cannonball that is shot not through like breaking the door. It like opens the door. Yeah, and which is inconsistent with the cannonball logic, which we'll get to later. And he like Matrix dodges it like a second before it would cleanly take his skull off of his body. It's before this. It's a little bit before. It's like here. It's right there. It's at the top of the scene here. Like right here. It's about to happen here. So he's pacing back and forth. He's saying it's the quiet life. No one comes to visit. And
then so here's the cannon.
It would have, were he not capable of Neo's chosen one powers, that cannonball would have cleaved his skull cleanly from his spine.
No, it wouldn't have cleaved the head. It would have made the head into
exploded it. Yeah, it would have exploded it, surely, yes. And then
one of my favorite things about cartoon logic is like, if this was real life, that would be so brutal and awful to watch. Like,
oh yeah.
Also, separate note, the speed at which the cannonball moves and the amount of air it is moving with the mass it has would absolutely be enough that the wind pressure would have like cracked his skull, because even like a 50 caliber bullet flying near your head can break your neck.
Right.
So he would have absolutely been just.
That's true. He's just been destroyed.
Also, we have no idea what shot that cannonball. We think it'll be the hand cannon.
We think it was the hand cannon
in the next scene, but it is not proportional at all to what the hand cannon could shoot. So
well, maybe actually Cranky didn't need to duck. Maybe the cannonball was close to the key. I like how you knew.
That's so funny. It was like 2 feet away from him, and he still ducked.
Yeah. I like how you knew
that
exactly.
Makes sense, it would be impossible to dodge, but you still would try to if you heard that sound.
You knew exactly what I was going for. I'm glad that you were immediately on board. Yeah, it's just close to the camera. That's exactly right.
That's very good.
DK shows up to defeat the pirates, and then we have this psychotic as the pirates run and the door is closed. We have this psychotic first-person view of a scope trained on the front door, where it is there. The pirates run after getting the shit beat out of them, and then the door is closed because they've defeated the enemies. And then there's a scope trained on the front door, and then it zooms in and goes through the front door, through the crack in the door. Which
it does go through through a crack, but not.
It's psychotic the way it looks. It's terrible, and it is Karul with a bungee barrel trained.
Also, right now, where you've paused it, look at the way the scales are stretched. The texture of the scales is static, and it is stretched across his snout.
Yeah, it's very bad.
He also has no nostrils.
That's true. As we did skip over it, but Scurvy does have his ear pierced to nothing because he's a crocodile. They don't have ears to pierce it, to put a piercing onto. They do not have proper.
Yeah, I think in some angles you can see the complete circle.
Yeah.
Just sort of hovering underneath his hat.
That does sound correct. That's very good. And so Karul is shooting Clump out of a bungee barrel, and he snatches the coconut, and they run to.
Again, a projectile launched at the door simply opens it.
And the projectile being Clump this time. The projectile being Clump, I think you should make sure.
Yes, the projectile being a living creature. But yes, still a projectile launched.
Better you than me. Yes, sir. He's just so dejected as he's. I want to point out. So they take the coconut and then they go to the barrel factory where Candy works for.
It will. Bluster.
Bluster Kong, who I love very much. I think Bluster Kong is very funny.
Bluster is an abomination.
He is an abomination. That's why I love him. He's He's got cufflinks.
And hold on.
I need you to go back a little bit because I do have something I will highlight. Look at him. He's got like he's this foppish cowardly
Coward.
man who I love, and they've written to be he's delivering very well in his performance. I think.
I would agree. Yes.
I think
Still a shitty
Bluster is
character.
great. I think he's very funny. I think he's funnily written.
He has cufflinks on his.
He has
so none of
cufflinks.
the donkeys
There's no
wear clothes.
suit.
None of the donkeys.
None
None of the animals wear
honks,
clothes,
yeah.
except for Candy, because she's a girl.
No,
and
Scurvy
girls have
has
to wear
boots
clothes.
as well. Scurvy also
And
has
a belt,
boots.
yes.
And a belt,
But they have
yeah.
like accessories. They don't really have clothes. He does have cufflinks.
True, Donkey
and
Kong doesn't.
nothing else.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong has his tie. Bluster has
Diddy has a hat.
cufflinks, and yeah, and Cranky has his like sweater vest.
Yeah.
I would like to point out, you may not have noticed this particular very juicy thing. Pay close attention to his henchman when he comes in the door. I want you to very, very close attention to the henchman.
They're already inside?
No, look.
Okay, for those of you just listening, they straight up like Photoshop select just dragged down
They
on the
just
screen. They
slide
didn't walk
down.
forward. They just, in perfect synchronization, just slide down and get cut off by the bottom of the screen. Their feet just disappear.
It's so
Oh my god.
so funny. Did you not notice that the first time?
No, I didn't. It looks like, oh my god, that's so good.
It's my favorite shot.
King Rule
Oh, you cut out. Oh, there you go. Okay, you're back.
order the factory to start making explosive barrels. I'm not sure why the crystal coconut just has that power.
They
I don't
see
know
that
why
he has the coconut and they're very scared, and Bluster's like, "Mommy, what's mine
Oh, yeah,
is
and he,
yours,
like,
what's yours is
grovels.
yours." He's groveling
Groveled
instantly.
at his feet. But why doesn't Carol just do this with the guns? Because he could.
Well, that's true, but he's interested in the coconut. Like, he's not usually interested in just having the barrel factory. He's interested in the coconut, and now he's on a power trip, I think is what it is.
And he wants to have a bunch of ammunition and then has them just like blow them up in the factory as well.
Yeah, it's a whole. He's on a power trip, I think is what it is. I think in my opinion, he's on a full power trip.
My connection is shitty.
Yeah, you are having some struggles here. I noticed that. Yeah, I think he literally is just. He's on a full. Are you back? Are you normal again?
Do I sound normal?
A little bit, kinda. You're a little roboty at times.
Oh yeah, I have 760 ms. Okay, there we go. It's back.
Okay, there you go. Now you're back. Yeah, you're
22.
good.
All right.
Yeah, you're good now. You're good.
All right.
Yeah. So like I said, I think he's just on a power trip, right? He just wants to have fun with his newfound ruler status? Question mark. I also think this line is excellent, where Blush is like, "Work? I never work," and then they point the guns at each head, and he's like, "Well, yes, I see your point." That's very.
I never work. Yes, well, I see your point.
Yeah, it is
that's
very good.
That's a very excellent line, I think.
Yeah, these guns are also very strange.
We'll get to the guns
later.
We'll get to the way the guns work in a moment. And then so DK and Diddy are still just sitting around at Cranky's place, but they hear a bunch of explosive barrels going off as DK's having his fun blowing up barrels. DK as K. Rool's having his fun. So they go there and they get into a minecart chase, which is very fun. And I would like to point out, as they're kind of having this head-to-head in the barrel factory, Bluster just sneaking away behind them with no acknowledgement is very funny. It
is very good because they could have been like, he could have even said some like throwaway line like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah,
but the fact that he just like tiptoes all the way out, no one acknowledge it. He doesn't make a sound. You don't like hear his footsteps.
Yeah, he just starts going. Like he just goes. He's like, "Yep, this is my opportunity."
Also,
I
just realized now he also has cufflinks on his feet.
Oh, he has like spats on his feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good and bad at the same time. So yeah, so K. Rool blows up a bunch of explosive barrels to cover their escape. They run into the minecart, which I think this is my favorite episode of the 4. I think they.
I would agree. Yeah.
The action is the action is the best. The minecart is great, and then they have the fight on the pirate ship later is great. And Buster has hidden in the minecart, to his chagrin, that Karul and Clump take.
Yes.
And so they're trying to escape, and DK and Diddy are gaining, and Bluster notices one of the guns. So Bluster, yeah, he just pulls out the 9 and threatens them with it. And so, again, as we've noted, this is one of the moments where a character has the coconut, and at least in this case, it's kind of justified a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, he throws it at Bluster.
So, fucking, it's...
Oh, you're struggling a little bit.
Well, he throws it at Bluster, and then Bluster bails out.
Well, Bluster gets knocked out, I think, but he also, unbeknownst to us at this time, was able to snag the coconut, which is good. And then they end up
they surrender. He throws the coconut at them, and then they end up with the gun, and they shoot it, and it launches like it is a gun, like it launches like a projectile, and then it cuts to Diddy and Donkey Kong's cart, and you see a sort of like blue bug sort of sploosh onto their cart, and then evenly just eat the whole thing top to bottom.
Yeah, they just disintegrate it.
Reused later in the same episode.
In a context that doesn't really make sense. Cleanly.
Yeah. Because it hits the front of the cart, and then all the way around the cart, from top to bottom, it just disintegrates in these blue, like, shining bug things.
Well, you know what I think my theory is?
That is horrifying, because they were pointing those guns at people.
That's true. They would have just... My theory is that they're tiny. They're like minuscule claptraps.
And why do they have minuscule trap claps in a gun that they can shoot and only eat minecarts?
I don't think it only eats minecarts, because remember, it's the same effect later when Claptrap is eating the pirate ship. Right. So I think he spawns babies?
No.
Or it's just
Claptrap has to get his teeth back.
Well, yeah, but once he has his teeth, he's able to disintegrate the ship. So maybe he's got like just this... Oh, maybe it's like... Maybe they have like some kind of venom, or like some other kind of acid in their teeth, like in their fangs, right? So that when they bite it, maybe that's it.
That's the closest thing to logical.
That's the closest thing to anything making sense at all.
Yeah, I don't think the producers thought that much about it. I think we were thinking about it more than they did.
Right. I would like to...
We need this chase to stop.
I would like to know, we're getting kind of really long-winded here, but I would like to know 2 things about the minecart chase. I think the minecart chase music is incredible. It's really good.
Yes.
It fits perfectly for... There's still... I would like to do a 1920s style... excuse me. Like D&D campaign set in my campaign setting, and I would absolutely use that. It's perfect. Like, the vibe is perfect. And then also, I would like to point out the insult Pongak is thrown around here.
Pongak?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, please, here, let's go back to Bluster pointing the gun at them here.
Hold it right there, Pongaks. Stop this thing and let...
Hold on, I have it muted.
Here, let's go back a second. Here, he's gonna... In fact, the factory, here, it's...
Into the factory, I'm mincemeat.
Lizard bait!
Hold it right there, Pongaks. Stop.
Yeah, what are you...
He says Pongaks.
Pongaks? Is it Pongaks?
I don't know.
Pongak?
I don't know. That must be a translation thing. I have no idea what the fuck. I searched for Pongaks and I have no reasonable results.
Yeah, I've got nothing as well.
Unless you're looking for someone with the last name of Pongaks.
Yeah, I've got nothing for this. So Bluster ends up giving them back the coconut. And so the Cruels escape. So they go to return it to Cranky, and Cranky is adamant that they do not enter his home with the coconut, and they're like, what's going on? And then it cuts to a camera. I actually really like this sequence, at least, or the visual storytelling is good.
Yeah.
where Cranky's like, stay out, and they're like, oh, you need us to do a pass, we gotta do the cranky pokey, and then it cuts to a camera angle inside of the pirates waiting on either side of the door. So they've taken Cranky hostage, and Cranky's trying to tell them, don't come back with the coconut. Get out of here. But I would like to say that at the end of this scene, there's a great line where Cranky's like, I tried to warn ya, and DK says that wasn't a warning, that was a convulsion. Which is just it's psychotic.
Yeah, it is very good.
And so they make off with the coconut. DK and Diddy, the pirates make off with the coconut. DK and Diddy enlist Funky's help to pilot them to try and search for the pirate ship, which is now out in the ocean, and they find it. And then
they're on Funky's ship, or Funky's plane.
Yeah, Funky has flown them over to it. And this is where we get the future events that Diddy referenced. Yeah. They are locked in some barrels, and they end up seeing Claptrap, who is a small little horrible little lizard gremlin,
I didn't know would be alive. Like I wouldn't think he would talk. Like, you know, you think all the monsters.
You'd think he'd be non-sentient.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be one of the non-sentients. But to be fair, we have not seen any non-sentient animals.
Right, like they're all.
There might be like birds in the background, but I don't think they tried.
Well, we've heard like regular monkey noises too, is the thing. So like we kind of established that maybe it's.
But was that an actual monkey, or was that used as a transition sound to commercial breaks?
Mayhaps, probably the latter. So Claptrap makes them a deal that DK is so tired he needs bananas to fuel himself, and Claptrap says, "I'll let you out, and you can have the bananas, and if you beat the shit out of Scurvy and give me my teeth back, that's the deal."
Yep.
And they do that. They beat up the pirates, except as they beat up Green Croc and Cutlass, and then we've arrived at, like, they're like, man, we really nailed them, all two, like both of them. And then DK's like, come to think of it, there was a third. Like, I don't know how they've forgotten Captain Scurvy. This is an insane fucking like joke that they're doing. Scurvy corners them with an absurdly large cannon. It's just so, like, it's not long enough, but it is massive barreled, and it's like, there's so much empty space in that. What's going on? What's with the fucking cannon?
There's no gunpowder behind that. I don't know like cannon physics very well, but the barrel is so short and wide. I think it would just explode the cannonball and the cannon. Like, there's no way that would actually be efficient to launch.
Well, and he's also pointing the cannon like at their brig, like the door, like the back of the ship, and he shoots it at them. And it just bounces off of every surface on the ship. It doesn't destroy the back of the ship as it should.
Well, it hits the door. It hits the door they burst out of before. So even a thinner part than just a wall.
Yeah, right.
But
it's
it bounces
a door.
off the door at like a downward angle, so that it bounces off the floor and other ridges and sides, and eventually somehow leaps up into the
crow's nest, which is where
there is no ladder. Which is where Claptrap is. His teeth are, and where Claptrap is, and he just eats half of the cannonball before proceeding to, in the same fashion as the guns from before, eat the entire ship.
Yeah, like he eats down in a line, but spreading from him are these same blue like mites that just start to disintegrate the ship.
I think it's meant to imply that he is zipping around super fast.
Oh, you think it's like a super speed representative then?
Yes.
Hey,
which doesn't explain.
Yeah, I was literally gonna ask, like, but hey, then what does that mean that happened with the minecart then?
It doesn't. But in this scene, to be like, if this came first, right? My instinct would be Claptrap is zipping around eating the whole thing, right? They didn't want to animate that. That'd be, an intense amount of work. So they have this effect that makes it, it's blue, he's zipping around eating it slowly from the top down.
Sure,
which
okay.
doesn't make sense as to why it would sink until the very end, but that's beside the point.
Right.
It does not explain the minecart.
It doesn't explain really anything. And then we get this scene at the end where the pirates are very dejected, sitting there, in a circle. They have no ship. And I cracked it. So I'm sure chronologically in the series, this episode must have come before the Amnesia one.
Yeah.
Because Diddy flashes back to this. However, since Claptrap
or they're living in a universe.
or
that
yeah,
repeats
of
itself.
course, yeah, we are
And
living in
cycle of life
the
and death,
cyclical
Kevin
nature
Shara
of
has kept
time.
them alive.
Correct, yeah. But I think the reason they did it in this direction is because in the continuity of the movie, the pirate ship would be destroyed, and it wouldn't make sense that they would be back with the ship. So that's why they did this one last, because it's like, oh, the pirate ship's broken. We can't really explain away that they just got a whole new ship that looks exactly the same.
Well, actually, in the episode with the flashback, they still have the ship, right?
Well, because we don't actually get to the part where Claptrap eats the ship in the flashback. Like, that happened. Yeah. Yeah, because in the episode where they do the flashbacks, the pirates have the ship, right? Because he's, Donkey Croc, and he's got the... Yeah, so this one had to be last in their chronology for the movie, because otherwise it would not make sense for the pirates to have a ship in the final episode.
So there must have been some episode in there in the middle where they got their ship
Where
back.
they got a new ship, or, something.
The ending is also very unsatisfying.
It's very abrupt, yeah.
Yeah, they're sitting on the edge of a dock. You get the great scene from the meme where the you may spank it once.
You may smack it once. That's actually not this scene, but it is a...
It's the same sort of scene. You can see his ass as he's sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
And then it's just sort of like Claptrap comes back, and now he's sort of green instead of blue, and I don't know why.
Yeah, he does look a bit strange in this.
And they're like, "Oh, are you hungry?" And he's like, "No." And the camera zooms in and winks, and credits.
But he's like,
really
that first course is a little salty. I'm not in the mood for dessert. And they're like, oh, that's good. And he's like, yeah. And he starts laughing. And it holds on him laughing uncomfortably long. Like very badly.
And then it just like
and then it just ends. Credits, and then it's just credits, and it's just over. Yeah, it's a very dissatisfying, abrupt ending.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Yeah.
He just like this podcast apparently, because we're just sort of at a loss now.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I just want to acknowledge how grotesque Claptrap is really here that we're looking at. He's very horrible. His model's awful to look at.
Yeah, well, because you know how regular alligators, their sort of jaws in a straight line. His is like all wavy and curvy and weird.
Right. I thought. Well, also Claptrap did have a song which we kind of jumped over a little bit. I thought it was rocking. I thought it was a very good song.
So bad.
Mitch is of the opinion that it was a bad song.
The music, the guitar, the drumming, the instruments were good. The singing and the lyrics were hellish on my ears, and I want to unhear it.
That is not an unfair point to make, I would say. That's not... I don't think that you're wrong. I just think that my brain is broken, and that I like it.
I would agree with that. You are a broken man.
Yeah, true. So I think overall, really good movie. Really liked
I cannot make that call. I think I will say these words. I had a fun experience watching the movie with you and recording this podcast. Those two things, on their own, in this instance, were an enjoyable way to spend time. Next week, 10 weeks, 51 weeks.
We got a long road ahead of us, pal.
I will not feel the same. I guarantee it.
I think we'll give you like a treat. Like every couple watches, we'll get to watch it together. I think is.
Oh, that's
because the litmus test is gonna be we're gonna have to both watch it separately.
Yeah, to see if it's actually a good.
To see if there's anything of value, and again, this will be a lot more streamlined next time because we don't need to recount plot.
How about every five? Every
five we'll do a plot.
Yeah. Every five we'll watch together. So we'll do
every
episode 5, 10, 15, and so on.
Sure. Yeah. I think you're fully committed now. Because he would like.
Yeah.
This started out as like a joke. I was like, you want to do our own season of Worst Idea? And we're both like very aware of like, I've made this point. So if you make a D&D podcast, right? You're not really ripping anybody off. Because no one owns like the concept of a D&D podcast.
Unless you literally steal their story.
Unless you steal their story, characters, etc.
Which is not fun to play anyways.
Right. Every table's going to be different. And there's a billion D&D podcasts. There's a huge market for it. There's only one movie review show where they do the same movie every week for a year. There's only one of those, and they kind of do own the market on that, I would say, a little bit. So, like, we are aware of how blatant this ripoff kind of is. But, like, I think the world just deserves more Worst Idea podcasts. There's some people just need to be brave enough.
I disagree. I think we deserve this punishment.
We deserve it as punishment. I was gonna say the world needs more of this content. It's just that someone needs to be brave enough to do it. And that's or stupid enough to do it.
Stupid enough. I would say stupid
enough. Yeah, so that's gonna kind of wrap up, I think, this pilot episode. I don't know where this is gonna go. YouTube probably, because like you have to pay money for like an RSS feed, and this is not financially gonna be like a boon to us at all.
But I think it's gonna cost us time.
Yeah, anything it is detrimental to our wallet's insanity. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I'm Noah, by the way. I don't know if we even introduced ourselves properly.
Ourselves at all.
This is great. Yeah,
I'm gonna go for like a walk outside.
That's a good call, probably. I might get some fresh air too. I'm gonna go get some water, I think, after this. I'm gonna hang out with my girlfriend a bit, and we're gonna enjoy just our afternoon. Don't watch this movie, guys. It's on YouTube. Just if you search Donkey Kong the movie, you can find it, but you should not watch it, I would say.
No, you shouldn't.
I would just look up. Maybe we should like re-edit it and just get the highlights at some point.
That sounds like even more work.
It is a lot. It is more work. We'll
figure it out.
I may edit this to just have the set of the comedic highlights, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's gonna be it. Yeah, I said don't watch this movie. Let us watch it for you. Listen to us lose our minds over the next year. Again, it's really struck me, the commitment here, because I'm about to, as I said, I'm about to renew my lease here in the next month. And like much like my lease, committing another year to living here, we are committing a full year to watching Donkey Kong Country: The Legend of the Crystal Coconut once a week for an entire calendar year. So that's great.
And as our famous sign off, as always, don't watch this movie.
Don't watch. I'll give us a good old classic banana slammer, and then we'll
Banana slammer
indeed.